Dotty Scott and I have known each other for 5 or 6 years now, something like that. She's
2017, I think.
27. Okay, 7 years. Wow, I love it. She is a website designer, and I think I heard about you through Deborah Morrison,
You
right? So you
did.
were working for Deborah. Deborah referred you, and you've been a valuable member of our community since day one. I had the privilege of actually meeting you in person when we were doing live events in South Florida. And Dottie has been in the website business for 18 years now. Is that correct?
18, yeah.
So she was doing websites before any of us even thought about it.
When you had to actually hard code everything.
One of the things that I love, not only do you have such a longevity of expertise, but I love the way you consistently evolve and keep yourself up to date with not only what's happening on Google and SEO and keywords, but you also talk about blogging and video and how all that plays into your social media and the traffic on there. So you are just a wealth of knowledge, and I am so grateful that you're with us today.
Thank you, Nancy.
Hey, so we're going to do interview style. I have a few questions that I'm going to ask Dottie, and then I'm going to let you also have the opportunity to ask some questions. And let's start off by telling everybody about Google My Business, because in my limited knowledge about it, Google My Business was a big rage, and then it wasn't a big rage, but now it's the biggest rage ever. And I know I'm not up to date with my Google My Business the way that I could be, or why I want to be is the second part. So take it away, Dottie.
This is a huge question, Nancy, but Google business profiles, what they're going by now, they've changed their name probably 10 times over the years. They are equally or more important than your website. And a website designer said that. The reason for that is if you're a local business and you want to be found in maps, which if you're a local business, believe me, you want to be found in maps, it is a completely different search engine than the Google search engine. So the information in maps is pulled directly from your Google business account. It is not pulled from your website.
I want to be in maps because I noticed that's one of the first things that pops up when I do a Google search.
Yes, especially if you're on your phone. But
Ah,
it is for all Google searches. And most of my clients, they'll call me and they'll say things like, I'm not pulling up very well in organic search, and what can you do for that? And when I ask them questions, are you using your Google business profile? Oh, I think I have one. I don't know if it's verified. Maybe I have one. Maybe I don't. I really don't know. Um, it is so important because, Nancy, you know that I test everything. And occasionally I'll have a fabulous idea and I'll test it and it'll do the opposite of what I wanted it to do. And it'll tank my website. Well, instead of being on page 1, maybe I'm on 3 or 10 or I'm nowhere. But it doesn't affect my Google business. And I'm still in maps and I'm number 1 in maps. And I've been number 1 in maps since maps came around. Yeah, locally here. My phone still rings even if my website is on page 10.
huge.
Huge. That is the reason I say it's more important than your website.
So the question that's top of my mind, I work from home. I don't want to put a home address in there.
I know. You have 2 options. Option number 1 is to call yourself a service area business, and then it'll just put your city in there. City and state, I believe.
Okay.
However, if you really want to be found in maps, it really needs an address. Otherwise, you're shooting yourself in the foot by becoming a service area. I can tell you, I have my home address on there. I've had it on there for 20 years, probably, whenever they came out. It wasn't an option back then. We had to use our home address. And over that span of time, I've had 2 people show up unannounced at my door. Both of them were potential clients. So it wasn't like a huge deal, but it's also, I don't think people really do that anymore. And you can now put on there that you take virtual appointments only or by appointment only, and
Very-
actually state that on your profiles, which I have. And it's really not an issue.
So it's funny you said people don't just drive to the location first. Men do that instead of calling. I don't know why.
Basically, both of those 2 people were men.
I know I could say, like, why didn't you just call for it? You spent 3 hours driving to find that they're not open. Like, why would you? But anyway, I digress. Good. We have a question in the chat from Brenda. What happens if you have more than one business?
I have more than one business, and I have 2 business profiles with Google that use the same address.
So you have 2 Maps profiles?
Yeah. I have an
Yeah.
Ask Dotty, and I have a premium website.
Wow.
And it
And
doesn't seem to be an issue.
Yeah. What about using a PO box?
Google doesn't allow us to do that. In fact, I have a mailing address. It's at one of those UPS stores or equivalents, and I can't use that either.
All right.
Now, ironically speaking, my other half has a business and a Google business profile. And yes, we live in the same house. For whatever reason, he was able to put our mailing address on his profile. So they might be loosening up that a little bit. You could try it and see.
Yeah. I think for Women's Prosperity Network, we have a PO box, but it's a street address, so it shows as a suite. A lot of post office box offices now give you that option. So you could look into that if you really didn't want to have your home address on there for some reason. Is Google Maps part of setting all of this up? Because I go to Google to do things and I get confused.
What do you mean by that, Nance?
There's too much. And there's nobody to call for customer service. And there's a lot. If I go to my Google profile, I'm not sure where to go or how do I list things. And I know you're going to talk about your profile and how to upload it. Can you give us a quick tutorial?
I can, but I want to preface my tutorial with a new thing that Google is doing. This started March 1st. On March 1st, they decided to decide if your business is active by whether or not you're using their profile, which Google's a big narcissistic company. They want you to use their stuff. And so they're basically making a judgment on whether you're open by whether you're using their profile.
Wow.
Which is why I want to do this, because you need to be doing something. At first I said monthly, really, I'm going to say weekly. And it's like 15 minutes. If you can't spare 15 minutes a week, you have a time management problem. Nancy can help you with that.
Yeah.
Let me share my screen. I have my Google business profile pulled up. And it's in edit mode, so to speak, because you're the owner of your profile. When you pull it up, you get this area over here for your editing controls.
Right.
Okay.
There's so there. I'm confused. I get confused.
Yeah. So you got edit profile.
Okay.
And this is all the basic profile stuff: name, address, phone number, categories, all of that kind of stuff. Reviews. If you want to give somebody a link to give you a review, there's this magic button right here that says get more reviews. And when you click it, there's a magic link right here that you can copy and email somebody. This is how you get reviews. And the reason I am number one and have been for years in Google Maps in my area is because I have 59 reviews. My competitors have in the 20s.
Wow, that's amazing.
It really counts. So there's that.
How do you get to that space?
What's fate? How do we get here?
Yes. How do we get here?
I'm just in Google. So I Googled my business name.
Got it.
And because I'm the owner of this account, I get this. It just shows up.
Got it.
If
if
I was Googling you, Claudia,
Yeah.
this wouldn't be here for me because I'm not on your account.
Let me share my screen for just a second, and then we'll go back. I want to thank you, Claudia, for asking that. So
Yeah.
I just went to Google and I put in the search bar Women's Prosperity Network, and this is what came up.
Are you an owner?
I am an owner.
Okay. If it doesn't come up for you, Nancy, go to the top 9 squares next to your picture and click on it. Not there. Down, there should be a blue circus thing right there. It says Google Business. You just passed it. It's the blue tint. Click on that. There you go.
And it's black in the background because that's just how she has her computer settings. But now everything's
Yes.
here.
But notice, Chica, you have a red profile stripe.
Right now.
You want it to be green. Just saying.
Thank you. See, vulnerability at its best.
Yes.
Quick question. Sorry, Dottie, again. One step back, one step before this. How do we register or where do we register our business with Google?
I would Google register Google business profile. And it'll get you right there. There's a little link. It says add your business. You put in your business name. It'll look to see if you're already registered.
Right.
And if not, it'll give you a form to fill out.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now,
All
what
right.
I'm saying, you wanted to do something every week. Okay. I'm suggesting the most important thing you do is ask for reviews. Okay. Number 1. And if you get them, that's great. In fact, it's fantastic. Keep asking. You want to have at least 10. You're not a valid business in Google's eyes unless you have at least 10. Just saying. But
Okay.
to just do a quick something every week, you can come here, click photos. And right here, it says add photo. And you just want to add a photo. I know it's like rocket science here. So I've got pre-branded photos with my logo on it. And I'm just going to click on one. These happen to be some social media posts I have coming out right now. And it's going to go through its little thing. And if you click view all photos, you will see this is one I added this morning. The next one will be there momentarily.
The type of photo it is doesn't matter.
No, don't put porn on there. The social media graphics that you're creating for your website, that's fine. If you have a review, look at this, Nancy. You can come here and look at your reviews. Vilma's slowing it down. We'll assume it's going to pop up. You can do a screenshot of your reviews, turn it into a photo, boom, upload it. You can do that for Facebook or any other place that you have reviews. Do a screenshot. There's a photo for you. I have no idea why that's coming right now. Adding one photo a week is sending a signal to Google that you are an active business.
Amazing.
Yeah. So that is Google. It is such an important piece of your online marketing. It cannot be ignored.
All right. So that's huge. Dottie knows lots about Google, but she also knows, as you saw, a lot about creating images and video marketing. Let's talk about video marketing just a little bit if we could, because you have really done a great job with that. I was a guest on your podcast, and from there, you took that podcast and turned it into, what did you create? 10, 15 video clips?
Probably on about a half an hour interview, I get around 15 different segments or pieces of knowledge or gold nuggets, whatever you want to call them, out of that interview.
And so let's talk about repurposing content, because when we look at the landscape of marketing, it can feel so overwhelming. Oh, I have to create this. I have to create that. I have to create this. But what I just heard was take something you did and repurpose it, which you showed us with the image. Your image for social media, you just used for your Google reviews. So let's start working smarter. Hey,
Yeah. And did you know, Nancy, if I gave you any of those videos that were, I believe it's under 30 seconds, you can put that on your Google profile too. You can upload that instead of uploading an image. They have
Yeah.
to be super short though.
Wow, I did not know that. I use them for my YouTube shorts, but I didn't know I could use them on my Google My profile.
Yeah. Yep, you can. Repurposing content is how I exist, literally in social media. I use tools. So I break down things, long interviews into short little segments. I use tools to post. You'll see me posting daily on every single platform. That's not me. It's the tool. Because like you, I don't have time to be on there every single day. So use the tools to manage your time or manage your posting.
Let's go to some questions.
Nancy, I want to ask you one thing first. Okay. This is a super secret ninja trick.
Okay, I love ninja tricks.
Okay. Nancy, what do you think people are putting in a search engine to find your business? And you can pick any one. I don't care.
Women's networking.
Okay. So you're seeing my screen, right?
Yes.
I'm going to type in women's network. Now, we're looking at what's here. Okay. I don't see you here. Now, I want you to answer these questions off the top of your head. What are the goals of a women's networking group? Would that be a good question for your business?
Yes.
Okay. How do I start a women's group network? Is that a good question?
That could be when we were doing chapters.
But
and
not
I have
now.
it. Maybe I actually have an idea that I want to do that
Okay.
is really good for.
Okay. What is the women's network mission? Is that anything that resonates with you?
Not really.
Not really. Okay. So then we come down to these related searches. Okay. Women's networking topics.
Okay.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Women's networking organizations. That's an obvious yes.
Yeah.
Women networking near me. Is the women's network legit? Did that resonate with you at all? Yes or no?
Not really, but
Okay.
it could. But
Okay. Women's networking ideas. Yes or no?
yes.
Okay. Women's networking company. That would be a yes. Women's networking society cost. Probably not. And not society reviews. So the reason I bring this up is because a lot of times what we think people put into a search engine to find us is not what we really want.
This goes into knowing your customer. So this is what people are actually searching for.
Correct. And the results that we got here, iffy, maybe, but it's not really what you want. Thinking of that and your ideal customer and what their pain point is, what would you want me to type in here for a different search?
About
And make it a question.
where can I find a women business group that's heart-centered?
That's what we call a long tail keep, right? Okay, so now let's look at these questions. People also ask, okay, what is a heart-centered business? That resonates with you, doesn't it?
That does, but I don't know that my ideal client knows to call themselves heart-centered.
Okay, let's just keep going for a minute.
Fine.
What is a heart-centered entrepreneur?
It's good.
What is heart-centered work?
That's a
Maybe. And then let's flip down to the related searches. Heart-centered entrepreneur, yes. Heart-centered sales,
Yeah.
that definitely. Female entrepreneurs near me,
Yeah.
Facebook stuff, probably not. Sell with heart, yes.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to dominate that search term, these are what you need to type or to create content around.
Maybe I thought you were going to leave. Could write blog posts about it and things like
Blog
that.
posts, social media posts, content on your website, content on other people's websites, because Google is already telling you these are the things that people are typing into Google.
So
That's
good.
what these related searches are. They're in Google's database as this is what people are searching for. So if you want to be found here, do you have content on these topics? And I'm inviting you to do this for everybody, to do this for yourself. When you're trying to think of a blog post idea, why not start with something Google is already telling you people are looking for?
Brilliant.
That's my super secret ninja tip.
That is a really good super secret ninja tip that we now know.
That's right. And these are the kinds of things that are available to be covered in my creative time every week for my Ask Dotty members.
So tell us about creative time. I want you in my hip pocket.
Creative time, we meet once a week. It's Wednesdays at 8 o'clock in the morning for me. It's like my brain just turns on at 8 o'clock. As a member, you can come and ask anything you want. A lot of times as a group, we will give critique or feedback on a Canva project that somebody's working on, for example, or a landing page that they're putting together and they want some feedback on, or they're wanting to know how to get found. They might ask a question like that, and I'll go over it. It's led by your questions.
Very good. All right. And I know I'm going to put the link in the chat for the website. And Dotty, this too, when you and I first started working together and coaching together, you were doing this, but you weren't charging for it.
This is true. You are the one that convinced me to do a membership. Yes. And I was kicking and screaming, mind you, not to do it. But I'm glad I did. It's the highlight of my week, to be honest with you.
Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful. And to hear that, because sometimes people think, oh, I'm going to start a membership. It's going to be so much. To hear it's the highlight of your week.
It is.
That's beautiful. And the difference you're making for people. I think, Carrie, you posted that you're part of the Ask Dotty, right?
Yeah, I'm getting back in there. Yeah.
She's on a hiatus right now because she's going on some fantastic trip.
He is going on a fantastic trip. We're going to have to compare notes and all that stuff. All right, good. Dotty, thank you for that. And go to askdotty.com and she's making it available that you can try it out for a month for $1. Jump in for $1. Get your creative time answered 4 times in that month and then decide if you want to stay or not. It's pretty easy. Yeah, pretty cool. All right. Can we do some questions now? That was really good. Thank you.
Yes, I would love some.
Harry, did you have a question?
I keep getting these calls. Hi, our records show your Google business listing is not properly verified with Google. And I never call them back.
No. They're not Google. Google will not call you.
Yeah.
Okay. They're from SEO marketing companies that want you to pay them for them to help you with your Google business account.
I thought so, but I also heard from another source that Google is calling people and you better answer or something. I don't know. Can't even remember where that source was, but I just wanted to make sure. But I'm going to go ahead and took notes what you said about verifying your business. So I'm going to go do that. Thank you.
You're welcome. If Google calls you, it's generally a return call when you've requested them to call. And if you don't answer, they come through on a private number. And if you do not answer, They leave a message that says, "This is so and so from Google. You asked this question. Call me back," or set or something like that. So it's a very different message, and it's very rare.
Thank you.
I Googled my business name, but what comes up is my name and then where I am on all social media, LinkedIn, whatever, wherever I am. But it does show on Google Maps that I am near Dalton, Illinois.
I guess I'm not understanding the question. If I Google my name, Dotty Scott, I get all of my profiles that show up as well.
But if I Google J.H. Fortman and Associates, then it's just my name that comes up.
It's because you've not associated your name with your business name. And that is a problem in Google. You need to start associating them on every profile. Okay? You have your business, you are the owner of your business. All of it needs to be that way. And you need to be consistent everywhere. So
Okay.
if you go by Dr. Jan Fortman on Facebook, and you go by Jan Fortman on, say, Twitter, and you go by Janice Fortman, Instagram, none of that is the same person. So figure out what you're going to call yourself and do that everywhere.
Okay, and then put J.H. Fortman and Associates next to my name so that when I Google J.H. Fortman and Associates, it comes
Yeah,
up.
and you need to have a website by J.H. Fortman and Associates, and your Google business account needs to be J.H. Fortman and Associates.
Okay. All right. Thank you.